He is
I think the rematch with Roach versus Gervonta can actually be more exciting than the first one. In my opinion, I've said this many times.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like, Roach is a hell of a fighter. He proved he was a hell of a fighter, so he need to get that credit. He's a hell of a fighter. I don't know who's going to win that rematch.
Gervonta Davis faced off with Lamont Roach in a tense stare-down, exuding confidence as he claimed Roach lacks power, a sign he knows his opponent well from their previous encounter. This time, Davis appeared more passionate and focused, signaling his determination to prove himself and take full control in the rematch.
I'm ready, man. I'm happy to be at this point. I feel as though the talking is over. It's time is now, so I'm ready. We've been working hard in this camp.
The upcoming rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach is charged with both emotional intensity and competitive stakes. Davis remains adamant that the draw in their previous fight was unfair, believing he did enough to win. That lingering sense of injustice is driving his hunger for redemption. On the other side, Roach is training with relentless determination, aiming to prove that it was his power that caused Davis's knee injury in their last clash. This showdown has become a true battle of wills, setting the stage for a thrilling and high-stakes encounter where both fighters are determined to dominate.
Lamont Roach throwing his hands fast as hell. He's in the gym preparing. I think the rematch with Roach versus Gervonta can actually be more exciting than the first one. In my opinion, I've said this many times, the actual fight itself wasn't that crazy. The crazy thing is what you've never seen before, the knee. As far as a boxing match, it was, if you look at the copy box, they didn't throw a lot of punches. It wasn't like, it wasn't really a great fight. But as far as the fight itself, the second one can't, because I think Tank is coming for blood. He's not going to pull his punches at all. I don't think he really did the first time, but I'm not sure how well he prepared or how mentally focused he was. I think you're going to get the very best Tank in a rematch, and you may just get an even better Lamont Roach, since Lamont Roach don't have to speculate if he's good enough. He fought Tank. He has more confidence now than he did before, and he felt that he was robbed. So he's going to be on one. I think the rematch is going to be far more exciting.
The rematch promises to be even more electrifying, with Gervonta Tank Davis fueled by a fierce determination to silence his critics and reassert his dominance in the division. His training has been intense and highly focused, blending strength, speed, and strategic refinement. Davis knows that every detail matters and is intent on addressing any flaws revealed in their first bout. His relentless preparation highlights a clear message. He's not just aiming to win, he's out to deliver. A statement performance proving he's still an elite force capable of adapting and overcoming any challenge.
Everybody really think Tank go take the L. I've been seeing it. They say it's over. They think that this time Lamont go in more confident, knowing that basically he can, really take it to Tank. Yeah, I want him to go in there confident. He's very skilled. Go in there confident, because you gonna go up against a different Tank. Like I told y'all in previous videos, he gonna go in there confident, thinking he could walk Tank down. Don't forget, with Tank, if he get you on that button, them lights going off, I don't care who you is. Remember how it ended up with Frank Martin? So yeah, don't go in there thinking that you going against like somebody that, like Ryan Garcia, somebody that's gonna fold. You're going against Gervonta Tank Davis. And I think that confidence is what's gonna get Lamont dropped. Because one thing I will say, with Tank, that wasn't your best fight against Lamont, bro. I feel like you was in your head too much. You was overconfident, and you was really just, your mind was in y'all story, the lore and everything with y'all history. You ain't going there like, I'm fighting a stranger. You going there like, oh, this Lamont. This from the same camp. We from the same area. But now I think that whole situation woke him up, because you got to think, Tank not used to losing. He not used to people being against him. He not used to being the one that like got to step back from the situation. That's why I think he being hushed right now, because when he come this time, it ain't no talking. And that's why I think it's scary, because we never see Tank in that mode where he don't say a word. I think this gonna be a different Tank. And what's crazy is Tank used to be like that in the beginning, like when he was with Floyd. Like, I'm talking about Tank with the fade, with the waves, bro. He ain't used to be on that showboat and stuff until he got, like, a little bit more in the boxing, thing. Of course, once you with Floyd, you're going to start being flashy and doing backflips off the ring.
Lamont Roach's training for the rematch is marked by discipline and razor-sharp focus. From the very first day back in camp, he's shown a renewed sense of purpose, fully aware of the high stakes ahead. Determined to come in more prepared and refined than ever, Roach is honing both his physical conditioning and technical skills. Every punch thrown, every defensive move practiced, and every round in the gym is calculated to push his performance to new heights. His unwavering dedication makes one thing clear: Roach is ready to bring everything he has in his bid to dethrone Davis.
Lamont Roach in training camp, ready for one of the biggest rematches in 2025 against Gervonta Tank Davis, one of the biggest faces in boxing. What a man.
Lamont Roach enters the rematch with a mindset shaped by maturity and deep respect for his opponent. He recognizes that although their first bout ended without a clear winner, the stakes are higher now and the margin for error is slimmer. Interviews, Roach has demonstrated thoughtful strategy and mental readiness, showing he's prepared for whatever unfolds in the ring. Rather than leaning on past performances or underestimating Davis, he's approaching this as a fresh, high-stakes challenge, one that demands complete focus, sharp adaptability, and unwavering
How many rematches have you fought?
0.
What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, it's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder if that didn't get me the win. And I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not going to lie, I have room.
You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears?
100% for a fact. I think he might have some more gears, but I fought the best Gervonta that night. I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter. Hell of an IQ, great punching power, good speed, and a really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that. Don't think because of what I did, y'all think y'all can just go in there and think y'all can have the same night, you know what I'm saying, or do the same thing. He still will go upside your head and crack you, and you know what I'm saying, you might end up on the floor. Everybody not built the same, and that's what people getting messed up. He did a whole lot of things that was good in that fight, a whole lot, and I'm telling you right now, if he wasn't as good of a fighter as he was, that would have been, you know what I'm saying? I would have steamrolled him. Don't get that misconstrued. He's still the guy he is. It's just he ran into a guy that's on the same level.
Keyshawn Davis's perspective adds an intriguing dimension to the build-up. He sees the rematch as evenly matched but unpredictable, largely due to Gervonta Davis's fluctuating emotional state. According to Keyshawn, Gervonta's passion for boxing might not be at its peak, which could affect his energy and focus come fight night. In contrast, Lamont Roach is portrayed as a relentless, skilled contender whose motivation remains unwavering. This dynamic, between a champion who may be struggling with inner fire and an underdog fueled by fresh determination, sets the stage for a bout full of tension, drama, and
version he shows up with. And no disrespect to Roach, but you know what I mean.
No, that is disrespectful to Roach, and like y'all fight fans gotta realize that is disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like he in there fighting another grown man that ain't going for none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you don't think Roach is gonna come with another game plan or something better or this, that, and third. So when they had a rematch, are y'all still gonna say, oh, Take's still not his full self ever since he fought whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like Roach is a hell of a fighter. He proved he was a hell of a fighter, so he need to get that credit. He's a hell of a fighter. I don't know who's gonna win that rematch. I honestly feel like Tank is losing love for the sport, or he lost the love for the sport, and he's no longer hungry anymore.
Well, that's what I was getting at.
Yet you got a guy that's just super hungry and never had no attention, now getting all his attention, and now he get around two of his attention. Is like shit. That's kind of hard to beat. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Tank is he's still a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's 50-50. And to your point, we were saying, okay, he lost love of the sport.
The rivalry between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach has evolved into a defining chapter in both of their careers. Davis, once seen as an unstoppable knockout artist, saw his aura of invincibility tested by Roach's resilience and strategic execution. That performance didn't just challenge Davis, it spotlighted areas of growth for both fighters. For Roach, holding his own against such a dominant opponent fueled his confidence and shifted the narrative. He returns to the rematch armed with sharper insights and an upgraded training approach, ready to turn the challenge into a breakthrough.
Better. But they've known each other. These two have known each other for a while. Does Lamont Roach just understand a way to beat or frustrate Tank in a way that others don't? You know what I mean? Like, has he just found it, so to speak? Like, I have a lot I want to find out after that, because the first fight was so controversial. I think leaving it up to a draw is fine, whatever. Even though under the letter of the law, Tank probably should have lost this fight, and probably would have if they counted the knockdown when he took a knee. He blamed it on grease. I assume he won't on his hair. And it could get greasy. Like Amanda Serrano was like, "Yo, that's what fucking put me out of a fight in Puerto Rico." And then we were subjected to her beating the shit out of Stevie Morgan not that long later. So that's kind of what it is. But I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this because of the first fight. And I think you have to give Lamont Roach a real shot, even though I still would say Tank figures it out and gets it done and takes it more seriously this time.
Yeah, I think that because they're so familiar with each other, like these guys fought each other when they were kids. And then Lamont Roach comes into the ring and listen, regardless, like Lamont Roach came in there and he was confident. And I don't think a lot of people believe that he was going to be able to get it done against Tank. People thought that Tank was going to knock him out. Here's the thing, though. Tank is actually super skilled. Like, he doesn't throw a lot. When he does, he's extremely accurate, but he does have skill. And what he does is he reels in his fighters and he ends up landing big shots on them that end up knocking his opponent out.
The respect Lamont Roach commands from top-tier fighters and analysts reinforces his status as a legitimate threat in the rematch. Shakur Stevenson's praise emphasizes Roach's well-rounded abilities, noting that his sharp timing and defensive skill make him far more than just a power puncher. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan's excitement about the clash speaks volumes. This isn't just another fight. It's a high-stakes showdown driven by personal pride and professional ambition. With this level of attention and expert analysis, anticipation is soaring for what promises to be an emotionally charged and fiercely contested battle.
What do you think, considering you were one of the handful of people to pick Lamont Roach, giving him a tough fight? What do you see the rematch?
I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So he better be on his A game.
Did you think Lamont won the first fight? 154 and fight.
I asked two questions at the same time. I ain't hear shit y'all just asked.
You really want to move up to 154 after this fight or fight kind of thing?
Yo, I kind of said 154. I probably was stretching it. I'm stretching 154, but I'll fight him at 147. 147, me and Conor could get it in.
Shakur, Johnny Boy Boxing and Fight Night. If you beat Zepeda, do you feel that that's the toughest test of your career? And they'll give you the credit if you win?
Who knows? It's a never-ending process,
For Lamont Roach, the upcoming rematch is about more than victory. It's about cementing his legacy in the sport. His focus isn't on the payday, but on the chance to make history by defeating a renowned name like Gervonta Davis. A win would mark a major milestone, elevating Roach's reputation and earning him global respect. This mindset fuels his intense training and calculated strategy. Behind the scenes, Roach's family and camp shed light on the underlying tension between the fighters. According to Roach's father, Davis initially approached the first bout with caution, an acknowledgement of Roach's ability to threaten his unbeaten record. That caution wasn't fear, but a tactical decision not to underestimate a skilled opponent capable of flipping the fight. Despite Davis's hesitations, the pressures of the boxing world, business deals, fan demand, and promotional expectations pushed the fight forward, leading to a memorable clash and now an even more anticipated sequel.
In camp, so knowing the coaches, they knowing us, it's both ways. And they just our way, coming from both sides. So, but no, was I shocked? No. I think Tank tried to tell y'all Calvin tried to tell y'all, Burry tried to tell y'all, but they didn't want to hear it. They just so stuck on trying to force Tank to fight who they want him to fight. And it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? So it just was made for a great fight. So people need to just sit back and get ready for part 2.
It's gonna be epic, man. I can't wait for part 2, man. Do you got anything to say to the fans? About part 2, about anything that you got going on coming up, social media, anything.
No, just say get ready, man. Put your seatbelts on, and when this thing happen, man, make sure y'all support. Come to the fight, buy the fight, um, um, and be the biggest fan, cheering whoever you're cheering for. Don't matter, but you're gonna see another great performance by the Reaper, man. The Reaper ain't playing. He got a big bag, like you said, big 2 bag.
What do you think the difference would be, though?
You're gonna see the difference. I mean, I believe we want to fight. Nobody can tell us different. The majority of the world believe we want to fight. So you're gonna see. Both of them gonna raise their level. Both of them gonna raise their level. Both of them. So
yeah,
they're gonna make for a greater fight.